From Los Angeles, welcome to the 71st Annual Golden Mike Awards Show. Tonight, the Radio and Television News Association of Southern California honors excellence in broadcast news. We'll salute an anchor and reporter who covered everything and everyone from the Pope to 26 Academy Award shows during her 4 decades in broadcasting. It's Diane Thompson from KNX 1070 News Radio in Los Angeles. From wildfires to earthquakes to big trials, he's been on the front lines of virtually every major breaking news story in Southern California since the 1980s. We'll pay tribute to KNBC reporter Patrick Healy. We'll honor a 7-time Emmy Award-winning anchor and broadcast journalist who's been helping Southern California wake up with a smile and the news people need to know for decades. It's Fox 11's Tony McEwing. And the Rtna Freedom of Information Award goes to a man who stood up over and over to give America the truth about the battle against COVID-19. The Rtna is proud to honor Dr. Anthony Fauci tonight. Plus, from writing to reporting to features and breaking news, we'll salute the year's best in broadcast journalism from San Diego to Fresno and San Luis Obispo. Now, here are tonight's hosts. From KNBC Los Angeles, it's Colleen Williams and Chuck Henry.
Tonight we celebrate 71 years of broadcast journalism in Southern California. We'll honor the best work with Golden Mics. Congratulations to all of the winners.
And as you can tell, Colleen and I are socially distanced tonight, and because of COVID-19, so is this year's Golden Mike Award Show. Next year, we'll all be back together again for the celebration.
Big celebration, Chuck. Chuck and I want to be the first to salute all of this year's special honorees, including KNX's Diane Thompson, KTTV's Tony McEwing, Dr. Anthony Fauci, and of course, NBC4's own Patrick Healy. Way to go, Patrick.
Yes, indeed. You know, the Gold Mics are really the gold standard in broadcast journalism. Some of the nation's top radio and TV journalists judge the entries, and you'll find the names of each judge on our website. There are also no winners in some categories tonight. That's because the Golden Mics are only presented for excellence in broadcast journalism.
The awards in radio and TV are divided into 2 divisions. Division A stations have large staffs, and Division B, smaller staffs. So we hope you have all your snacks set up, maybe a nice glass of wine, perhaps a bottle for some. Let's get started with the show.
And the first award takes a look at issues ranging from racism, the homeless, the environment, and COVID-19. They include categories from video to consumer, political, and medical reporting. And to present the awards, we turn it over now to the man with the big voice. He's the longtime announcer for the Golden Mics, and you also know him as a radio and TV anchor and the voice of Wheel of Fortune. So take it away, Jim Thornton.
Thank you, Chuck and Colleen. By the way, Pat says hi. You know, it's been a few years since Pat Sajak has graced the studios of KNBC Channel 4, but he did the weather there before he came to Wheel of Fortune. I'm on the set right now, and what's really cool is everybody around here is always plugged into the news on radio and television, from the cast and crew to everybody who works here. So it's a really cool symbiotic relationship. So everybody is pulling for all the winners and the nominees for the Golden Mike. So with that, we get started with the very first Golden Mike of the evening. Judges say the Division A winner for Best Radio Traffic Report is comprehensive, smooth, and well organized. The Golden Mike goes to KNX Los Angeles for KNX Traffic on the Fives with Jennifer York and the KNX Traffic team.
We've been dealing with this since about 1:30 this morning when the fire broke out. It is west of the 405. Now, the 405 remains open, but for the very latest, let's go to Brian.
CHP has advised you not to take the 405, but there are no roadblocks up. There's nothing for drivers to know. You really shouldn't.
It is the eternal question. Will it rain? Will it be sunny? Up next, we present the Golden Mics for television weathercasts. Judges say the Division B winner is full of well-presented information. The Golden Mike goes to Kelsey Gherkins with KEYT Santa Barbara for Weather with Kelsey Gherkins.
Once we get to Monday, this is the real rain event. So you can see this really nice cutoff low here. This is going to start bringing all this rain to us thanks to an atmospheric river. We are expecting to get good measurable amounts. 1 to 3 inches, definitely a possibility.
Judges say the Division A winner for Best Television Weather segment does a great job of using graphics to explain why smoke from some brush fires is trapped in the Los Angeles basin. Congratulations and a golden mic go to Anthony Yanez with KNBC Los Angeles for Smoke-Filled Skies.
We have what's called an inversion in the atmosphere, and simply put, that's where you have this warm air, but right above that warm air, you have this layer of hot air, and so you have this inversion or a lid or a cap on the atmosphere. So what happens is all the smoke gets trapped under the inversion. It can't escape. And here's a good example of what this looked like today in downtown.
Up next, we honor some of those who can take an average story and make it amazing. They are the videographers and editors. Judges say the winner for Best Television Video Editing of a Feature Story, Series, or Special in Division A does a nice job of weaving lots of elements together. The golden mic goes to the staffs at KCET and UCLA Lens for The New West and the Politics of the Environment. The golden mic for Best Television Editing of a Hard News Story, Series, or Special in Division A goes to an editor judges say sets the pace and tone of some very difficult stories. The golden mic goes to Jeff McIntyre with KABC Los Angeles for Fascism Series and Hiroshima 75 years later.
You may have heard the name Jim Crow. You may already know it's associated with a racist era in our history. But Jim Crow wasn't a politician or a racist leader. He was a fictional, blackface character created by a white actor pretending to be a slave. The horribly demeaning character became so popular when slaves were freed, laws were created to deny African Americans their rights, and they named the laws after Jim Crow.
Are you missing the mashed potatoes and gravy at the Universal City Hilton yet? Well, don't worry, we'll be back at it next year. In the meantime, uncork a bottle of wine because up next, it's Best Television News Videography of a Feature News Story, Series, or Special. Judges say the Division A winner's videography is as artistic as the subject of the story. The golden mic goes to the staffs at KCET Los Angeles and La Bella Films for Artbound Light and Space.
In the 1960s and the 1970s, there was a loosely affiliated group of artists living in Los Angeles who grew up working through painting and influenced by abstract expressionism, but by the mid-60s, they were looking for ever subtler kind of effects. And so you could almost say that light was their medium.
Rather than paint and canvas, you've got something that has 3 dimensions.
Judges call the winner of the golden mic for Best Television News Videography of a Hard News Story, Series, or Special stunning and brilliantly shot. The story takes you inside the busiest fire station in the nation. Congratulations and a golden mic go to the team at KCET Los Angeles for SoCal Connected Fire Station 9.
Here in the heart of downtown LA, Skid Row. It's the busiest station in the nation. Experiencing it firsthand is pretty crazy to say the least.
43, 942 Taylor, drive call, dwelling 1652.
We now honor work which goes beyond the news of the day to look at issues in the communities we serve. The category is Best Public Affairs Reporting. Judges call the winner of the golden mic for Best Radio News Public Affairs Program intelligent and informative. The golden mic goes to KVPR Fresno for Valley Edition, April 10th, 2020.
Today on our show, it's Dolores Huerta's 90th birthday. We talk to the civil rights leader about her legacy. And writer Mark Arax tells us why novelist and playwright William Saroyan is relevant right now. But first,
in Division A, the golden mic for Best Radio News Public Affairs Program goes to an important but often overlooked part of Southern California history. Judges call it insightful and illuminating. Congratulations to Matt Dangle-Antonio, Larry Mantle, and Fiona Ng with KPCC Pasadena for 50 years later, the political and social impacts of the 1970 Chicano moratorium protests.
The gathering of those 20,000 individuals turned sharply when sheriff's deputies started firing tear gas into the crowd after reports of theft or robbery at a nearby liquor store. The day culminated in the tragic killing of Ruben Salazar, true voice for Los Angeles' Mexican-American community.
There's no denying it. 2020 brought a lot of challenges to our newsrooms. Coming up later on, we'll have the Golden Mic for Best Self-Applied Makeup 10 minutes prior to a newscast. Moving back to TV, judges say our Division B winner for Best Television News Public Affairs Program is well-produced, well-researched, and well-shot. It's the first ever Golden Mic for this station. Congratulations to David Nazar, Ty Woodson, and Jaime Jimenez with KLCS Los Angeles for Sustaining Us, California Great Flood.
Throughout the year, we're going to bring you informative and educational field reports and expert guests to discuss vital environmental and economic sustainability issues, everything from climate change, clean air, water, technology and healthcare, to education, pandemics, and housing. We begin our broadcast with California and rain.
The Division A Golden Mic for Best Television News Public Affairs Reporting goes to a program which takes a long, thoughtful look at the homelessness issue. Judges call it engaging and well-produced, with some smart pre-production. The Golden Mic goes to KTTV Los Angeles for The Issue is Homelessness.
We have to really all work together in order to make this go away.
We talk with former Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development Ben Carson, the mayor of one city where homelessness is dropping, plus some of California's top lawmakers on both sides of the aisle.
Next, it's Best Radio, Government, and Political Reporting in Division B. Judges call this an upbeat and well-told story about something positive being done to help some people impacted by the pandemic. The Golden Mic goes to Lance Orozco with KCLU Thousand Oaks, Santa Barbara for Serving Up Meals to COVID-19 Shut-ins.
I'm at home. I've been at home for almost 3.5 months now. Yeah, so it gets a little bit boring.
Carl's meals have included things which are easy to fix, like cereal and canned food. But this week he became part of what's called the Great Plates Delivered program.
Judges say the winner of the Golden Mic for Best Radio, Government, and Political Reporting in Division A takes the listener along for a front row seat to see community activism. They call the story memorable. Congratulations to Sharon McNary with KPCC Pasadena for What DIY Democracy Looks Like in an Underserved Slice of LA.
We have to be more involved in our own communities. We have to be the most vocal we can be.
To me, it showed they understood the nitty-gritty issues and were willing to do something about it. It's kind of a do-it-yourself democracy.
We move to Best Television, Government, and Political Reporting in Division B. Judges say this profile of a civil rights icon is well shot, written, voiced, and edited. The Golden Mic goes to Jose Gonzalez with KFTV Fresno for Dolores Si Se Pudo.
Dolores Huerta nació el 10 de abril de 1930 en el estado de Nuevo México.
Por eso nosotros decimos que nosotros no cruzamos la frontera nos cruzó a nosotros.
Después de que sus padres se divorciaron, su madre la llevó a vivir a Stockton, California. Se ha casado 3 veces y es madre de 11 hijos. El activismo lo trae en la sangre.
Judges say the winner of the Golden Mic for Best Television, Government, and Political Reporting in Division A is rich storytelling in every aspect of the program. Congratulations and a Golden Mic go to the staffs at KCET Los Angeles and UCLA Lens for The New West and the Politics of the Environment.
In the American West, most of the land is public land. It's owned by all of us. This is nowhere more true in the lower 48 than in Nevada, where close to 90% of the land is owned by the federal government. It's owned by us.
Well-crafted and clever use of sound. That's what judges are saying about our Division B winner for Best Radio Business and Consumer Reporting. The Golden Mic goes to Alice Daniel with KVPR Fresno for From Puppy Pads to Medical Masks, How a Shark Tank Entrepreneur is Helping Fresno Hospitals.
He put his day job on hold, created a new company called Chicago PPE.
Hello, Chicago PPE.
That stands for Personal Protective Equipment.
And instead of monitoring production of our stuff, we've temporarily paused it
and we're contributing our resources to making these masks.
You know, it's comforting to think we're planning to get back together in person next year for the Golden Mikes. In the meantime, here's a bright spot. No parking garage ticket to get stamped. Although we media types don't need validation, do we? Do we? Let's get back to the show. Next, it's the winner of the Golden Mike for Best Radio Business and Consumer Reporting in Division A. Judges call it well-written, timely, and very informative, and say the anchor is very savvy. The Golden Mike goes to Frank Motek with KNX Los Angeles for Motek on Money.
The impact of the coronavirus on the global economy rattles nerves and sickens investors. Uncertainty over the economic impact of the virus spreading outside of China sends stocks dramatically pulling back from the record highs achieved just a few weeks ago.
Some of the judges' comments about the Division B winner for Best Television Business and Consumer Reporting are well executed and nicely told. The Golden Mike goes to Sasha Fu with KUSI TV San Diego for City Fees for Baby Sign Language Classes.
I'm very angry and very stressed out.
She's even more discouraged by something else the city told her. The city says Monta won't get any more permits for her classes again.
They very well may say, well, they've already said that they're not going to issue me another permit because it's not the right kind of thing.
The winner of the Division A Golden Mike for Best Television Business and Consumer Reporting is a look at a little-known but historic toy. Judges applaud the reporting, writing, videography, and editing. Congratulations to the staffs at the KCET and the USC libraries for Lost L.A., Shindana Toy Company.
The problems that sparked the Watts Rebellion and the problems left in its wake were profound. How could the community move forward? One little doll suggested a possibility. Manufactured in the heart of South Los Angeles by a company called Shindana, it encouraged both racial understanding and community empowerment.
We now turn to Best Radio Medical and Science Reporting. Judges say the Division B winner shows there is hope in the fight against a dangerous disease. The Golden Mike goes to Carrie Klein with KVPR Fresno for Eureka Moments in Valley Fever Case Paves Way for New Research Treatment Options.
We saw these very large lumps on his forehead, and the lumps were full of fungal infection, and they were burrowing through the bones of his skull.
4-year-old Abraham Gonzalez Martinez was suffering a life-threatening case of valley fever, also known as coccidioidomycosis or COXY.
Up next, it's Best Radio Medical and Science Reporting in Division A. Judges say the winner is well-researched, reported, and written. It follows a former Navy SEAL who had a controversial medical procedure. The Golden Mike goes to Brad Racino and Jill Castellano with iNewsSource for Rewired.
He's stepping over the line.
Anna Wexler is an assistant ethics professor at the University of Pennsylvania. She reviewed Murphy's website and was concerned the doctor was marketing his technique to potential patients as being better than other available treatments.
That, I think, is a very clear, misleading claim.
Moving back to television, we have the Golden Mike for Best Television Medical and Science Reporting in Division B. Judges call this a beautifully written piece about an innovative project which helps a woman with a rare medical condition. The Golden Mike goes to Casey Drescher with KEYT Santa Barbara for Orcut Hairstylist gives Cal Poly student full head of hair thanks to 3D printer.
It can take up to 6 heads of hair to make one system. An artist individually injects one hair strand at a time. One custom wig system can take months to make.
This is a cast of a patient's head. This is for a full system, and the scanner will actually read the inside of this cast.
The winner of the Golden Mike for Best Television Medical and Science Reporting in Division A takes a serious look at some dangerous issues with the state's cannabis supply. Judges say it's a great investigation with amazing video. The Golden Mike goes to KCET Los Angeles for Cannabis Country.
Marijuana is legal in California, but the pot shop you buy from may not be.
The illegal market outscales our legal one probably 4 or 5 times.
And its product could actually be toxic.
The samples are failing miserably. These are above my calibrations. That's how dirty these are.
Stay tuned. There's lots more to come. We'll honor some legendary Southern California broadcast journalists. Plus, we'll have a special tribute to Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Congratulations, Patrick, on your RTNA Lifetime Achievement Award. 4 decades of excellence, and we know it.
A well-deserved honor, and I think it's fitting that I'm at home and you've spent the last year broadcasting from home every night. And we're just absolutely honored to work with you anytime, any place, anywhere.
The NBC4 family celebrates Patrick Healy's nearly 4 decades of in-depth reporting and compelling storytelling. Congratulations on tonight's honor.
More than 4 decades ago, his impressive story starts. Tony McEwing, passionate journalist, anchor and community advocate, covering the biggest stories of our time.
6.5 on the Richter scale.
And helping to make Southern California a better place to live for all. Congratulations to Fox 11 and Good Day LA's Tony McEwing, Golden Mike Lifetime Achievement Award honoree.
Now, from KFI Los Angeles, it's Chris Little.
Thanks, Jim. We're excited to have you here with us virtually. Hopefully, we'll be back to meeting in person again next year. You know, early on in the pandemic, the RTNA pushed back against the city of LA and the county's attempts to force reporters to submit questions in advance, eliminating transparency and making it difficult for reporters to hold agencies and elected officials accountable. We had a record number of pools, of course. During the coordination of those pools, the RTNA also pushed for a pool reporter plan, and members of the LA area broadcast community were called upon to step in both locally, regionally, and with the governor. The LA mayor's office now makes it a regular practice to call on reporters for press conferences in the event a live phone connection is not available. We've dealt with civil unrest. The RTNA worked with law enforcement on protocols to make covering protests safer and more consistent, including protections for those with official credentials issued by a government agency. The RTNA also worked with the LA County Sheriff's Department to send out a recommended list of ways for reporters and videographers to protect themselves in the field and where to go for that protection. Following the arrest of a reporter from KPCC, the RTNA did its own investigation into the incident, and while other media associations immediately signed a form letter, I should say, from a Washington, D.C. based group denouncing the actions of the LA County Sheriff's Department, the RTNA took a more measured approach and reached out to the sheriff with recommendations and solutions. And of course, that paid off. For the first time ever, the RTNA is now part of the media relations training classes at the LA County Sheriff's Academy. The RTNA has had equal success in re-engaging with the LAPD to strengthen relationships with the media after a few years of a strained relationship. The RTNA is also working with local law enforcement to create a protocol for broadcast engineers to access remote tower sites during wildfires and other calamities. Engineers had been kept out because they were not considered journalists, so they were not afforded the same access under the California Penal Code of 409.5. The RTNA is working to help stations navigate the complicated world of encrypted scanner systems. Agencies around the Southland are slowly transitioning to this new private digital communications technology, which prevents the media from monitoring the actions of law enforcement and first responders. And the RTNA doesn't just support today's broadcast journalists. We also help the next generation. Tonight, we're presenting 2 RTNA scholarships. The RTNA Jim Zalian Memorial Scholarship goes to Valentin Contreras. He's a Cal State Dominguez Hills student who also hosts and produces a weekly public radio show. And the RTNA Hal Fishman Memorial Scholarship goes to Sofia Liceos. She's a Cal State Northridge student who's worked as an intern at KABC TV and is on the air at the Cal State Northridge Student Station. Congratulations to both of our winners. And what we do all year long wouldn't be possible without our board of directors. As you see on your screen right now, we have people from throughout Southern California radio and TV who keep the RTNA running. Special thanks to Mady Encinas, our executive director, who works tirelessly to organize pools and many other events and activities. Thanks to all of them, and we appreciate you. Please go to our website at rtna.org and become a member. Now, this may seem live because of the mistakes I made, but I'm not doing another take. See you next year. What? I'm not done? I forgot to say what? Okay, now back to the show.
Up next, we present our first Lifetime Achievement Award of the evening. And I'm sorry, this person is just too young, but very, very deserving. I'm talking about Diane Thompson, somebody I had the pleasure of working with for many years. I started out at KNX 1070 in the 80s reporting traffic. She was already doing the heavy lifting of being a real reporter out there, gathering stories, and a lot of them tragic, I remember, in the early morning hours. but she presented them so well and in such a human way. But I think Diane really shone with those great feature reports that she would do. She had to go cover the Tatsu ride, difficult assignment, the Tatsu ride at Magic Mountain when it first opened up. And all I remember is her doing this loud, gut-wrenching, ah, in the middle of the story. But it made it. Another time she had to go and cover the story of somebody who put artwork together out of roadkill. Weird story. And she said, yeah, it looks like the possum is actually smiling. And, you know, she just had a great way of connecting with people. And so it was on the air when we worked together in the KNX newsroom for all those great years. We had a lot of laughs. There were times I could barely go on the air because I was laughing about something she'd go on. But when the microphone was on, Diane was always the true professional. And I know Ken Charles, our program director, Julie Chin, our news director, would agree, and everybody at KNX feels the same way. Congratulations, my friend. And now with that, here is a look at Diane's career.
Now let's switch live to the scene of news, this time to Hollywood, and KNX reporter Diane Thompson.
Tom, there's been an explosion and an accident involving the Channel 7 Eyewitness News van here in front of the Hollywood Forever Cemetery along Santa Monica Boulevard near the intersection of Gower. Now we are here...
CBS News, I'm Christopher Glenn. After the floods, high winds, and perhaps a tornado rake the Los Angeles area, KNX reporter Diane Thompson is live on scene in Paramount, south of downtown L.A.
Longtime Paramount and Bellflower residents say they don't recall a wind quite like the one that came howling through these communities before daybreak, uprooting trees, ripping off roof tiles, and launching car parts. Patrick Mealy headed for cover. A big wind came. Ash is raining down on us as the fire continues to burn out of control in this Porter Ranch area. The fire suddenly shifted and started heading this direction. There were people who were running away from the fire, carrying whatever they could, very panicked looks on their faces. A few moments ago, I spoke with Rtna Quisenberry. She was driving out of... Family and friends of two kidnapped girls are gathered at the command post here in the Lancaster suburb of Quartz Hills to wait for word of 17-year-old Jacqueline Maris and 16-year-old Tamara Brooks. The girls were kidnapped at gunpoint around 2 o'clock in the morning.
It's sleek, it's fast, and most importantly, it's exciting. The Ninja roller coaster is suspended from an overhead track, and this is what it was like in the front car. Away we go! Whoa! We are perpendicular to the ground, swinging by trees, and now we're making a sharp right hairpin turn. Now to the left. Whoa! We're about to swing upside down. It's unbelievable! KNX 1070 News Radio. Good evening, I'm Diane Thompson. KNX News Time, 5:06. A Catholic priest in Norwalk found a surprise on the church doorstep, a newborn child with a note pinned to it. Police SWAT teams have surrounded an apartment complex in Long Beach. A felony suspect is believed to be inside. 2 lucky lotto winners this weekend. They'll share a $5 million prize.
Now, here's 2021 RTNA Lifetime Achievement Award winner Diane Thompson.
Hi, everyone. It's great to be here, and thanks, Jimmy Joe, for all the nice things you said about me. I wish I could have been giving my remarks in person, enjoying a rubber chicken dinner with everyone, but it wasn't meant to be this year. A big thank you to the RTNA board members for this incredible honor. I'm touched. Also, congratulations to the other honorees, Patrick, Tony, and Dr. Fauci. Well deserved. The award itself is so beautiful and in good company with my Dr. Fauci bobblehead. Who else? I don't think my parents really expected me to become a professional broadcaster. After I graduated from the University of Texas with a journalism degree, they wanted me to move back to Dallas, become a debutante, and find a husband. That's what a lot of women did in the Highland Park community of Dallas back in the 70s. However, that was not part of my game plan, so I defied my parents. I skipped commencement, and I headed to Phoenix, and a year later to Los Angeles with the boyfriend of whom my parents did not approve. It was ugly, and I didn't reconcile with them for a number of years, but I was able to live the dream that I'd had since I was a little kid when I read the newspaper into a tape recorder and pretended to be a radio news broadcaster. Since I retired 2 years ago, I've had plenty of time to think about my 40 years covering the news in Los Angeles, most of it in Los Angeles and most of it at KNX. I've covered my share of fires, floods, and mudslides, gruesome car and airplane crashes, police standoffs, award shows, and earthquakes. I've interviewed the Dalai Lama and both the current president and the most recent past president of the United States. I've been within an arm's length of Nelson Mandela and the Pope. I've talked to circus clowns and politicians. I've even been pulled over by the LAPD, who thought the dilapidated KNX news van I was driving was a stolen vehicle. Which reminds me, while I was covering the arrival of the Ringling Brothers Circus in the train station in downtown Los Angeles, I was driving a clearly marked KNX news car. Well, I got caught up in the circus parade with the elephants and the clowns as they all made their way to the sports arena. All I could do was smile, wave, and drive, because, you know, the show must go on. It's been my privilege over the years to feature also more than 400 amazing people as KNX heroes. But the incident that will live in infamy is when my 5-year-old son Joseph, who'd been eating raspberry Pop-Tarts and drinking hot chocolate, threw up all over me, my equipment, and my notes while I was reporting live from the Rose Parade. There's KNX audio of that somewhere floating out in the ether. My colleague Tom Huell, who was on the air at the time, said the sound of it was so loud that Joseph would probably have to join the union. Looking back, I wouldn't change a thing. It's what makes life interesting, and I'm very lucky to have had a career as a real news broadcaster instead of a pretend one. I want to thank several news directors along the way who hired me and gave me a chance, among them Carol Brashears of KFWB, the late Lee Marshall of KHJ, and Bob Sims at KNX. And I certainly don't want to leave out Ken Charles, David G. Hall, or Julie Chin. Of course, I wouldn't have been able to do any of this without my husband, Chris Taylor. He has been my biggest cheerleader and my biggest supporter. Again, I want to thank the RTNA for this incredible honor. It means the world to me. And I also want to thank all my KNX colleagues for putting up with me for all these years. Thanks again.
Congratulations to you, Diane, and to all of tonight's winners. I'm David Ono with ABC7, KBC TV in Los Angeles. And up next, we are going to be presenting the awards for some of the most competitive Golden Mikes categories. They are the Golden Mikes for Best Serious and Light Feature Reporting. We'll also honor outstanding work in news series and entertainment reporting. Plus, later in the show, the RTNA will present the Freedom of Information Award to Dr. Anthony Fauci. Now, let's return to the presentations. Once again, here's the voice of the Golden Mikes, Jim Thornton.
Well, thank you for that. We're going to keep this thing rolling right along. Let's talk feature reporting right now. We start with Best Radio Light Feature Reporting, shorter than 1 minute. Judges call this story creative and inventive storytelling with a great use of sound. The Golden Mike goes to Steve Gregory with KFI Los Angeles for naming the Mars rover.
The finalists are kids around the country, including California. And to help me with the story, I employed KFI's own AI robot named Ben. So Ben, what are the 9 names?
Endurance, tenacity, promise, perseverance, vision, clarity, ingenuity.
Next up is Best Radio Light Feature Reporting 1 minute or longer. Judges say the winner was a delight to listen to with good writing and a creative use of sound. The Golden Mike goes to Lance Orozco with KCLU Thousand Oaks, Santa Barbara for Fly Through the Air with, hopefully, the greatest of ease.
Is this the point where I tell you I don't like heights? I don't like heights.
You're doing great, Lance. Keep on climbing, brother. You're nearly there. Lance is nearly at the top of the ladder, guys. He's nearly going to make it.
Ready or not, it was showtime.
Oh!
Hey, Lance, how's it feel?
I'm not getting paid enough.
Up next, the category is Best Television Light Feature Reporting. Our Division B winner introduces us to a man who went from being a farm worker in California's Central Valley to becoming an astronaut. Judges say it's a well-done, inspiring story. The Golden Mike goes to Raul Lima, Jose Gonzalez, and Vladimir Araya with KFTV Fresno for El Campo de las Estrellas.
Booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery.
A las estrellas. Podría resumirse parte de la vida del astronauta José Hernández, quien hasta el momento es el único hijo de inmigrantes de México que ha tenido el privilegio de ver la Tierra desde el espacio.
The Division A winner for Best Television Light Feature Reporting tells the little-known story behind an iconic Southern California park. Judges say this look at Griffith Park is beautifully researched, shot, and edited. The Golden Mike goes to the staffs at the KCET and USC libraries for KCET's Lost LA, The Untold Story.
It's one of the largest municipal parks in the nation. Its boundaries are so expansive, its terrain so rugged, there's no one place you can stand to take it all in. But its impressive scale is also what makes Griffith Park so charming. An abandoned zoo can coexist with a merry-go-round. A rock band can rattle one side of the park, while on the other side, a mountain lion silently stalks its prey.
Next up, it's Best Radio Feature News Series reporting. The winner of this Golden Mike looks at a tough issue in the Central Valley, water. Judges say the series has captivating interviews and a wonderful use of sound. The Golden Mike goes to Carrie Klein with KVPR Fresno for what the Sustainable Groundwater Management Act could mean for California's San Joaquin Valley.
Take Doug Martin. The Kings County farmer doesn't mince words about SGMA.
It would mean total annihilation of the agriculture in this state. It will destroy it.
That includes, he says, the Hanford Ranch his family has worked for almost a century.
Well, we're moving right along. Up next, it's Best Television Light News Series reporting in Division A. It's an uplifting series about people doing things to help cope with the impacts of COVID-19. Judges say the winner has strong writing and beautiful storytelling. Congratulations to Jonathan Gonzalez and the NBC4 News team at KNBC Los Angeles for Corona Kindness.
As you watch us every day to stay informed during this difficult time, we know the information can be overwhelming. We'll be honest, we often feel the same way. So starting tonight and every Sunday night until this passes, we want to share all the good things that are happening to help get us through all of this.
In a crisis like this, we get to see kindness is amplified.
Up next, we honor Best Radio Serious Feature Reporting shorter than 1 minute. The Division B winner takes us to a Black Lives Matter rally. The judges say the winner features solid writing and good use of sound. The Golden Mike goes to Cassidy Zimmerick with KCDZ 29 Palms for Locals Gather Peacefully to Call for Justice for George Floyd.
George Floyd, justice now! George Floyd!
They showed up in Yucca Valley first, then in Joshua Tree, and even in 29 Palms. Along Highway 62, over 100 locals came to join in global protest calling for justice in the death of George Floyd. Dozens of signs in support of the Black...
Judges say the winner of the Golden Mike for Best Radio Serious Feature Reporting 1 minute or longer is touching, well-written, and skillfully edited. Congratulations to Alice Daniel with KVPR Fresno for He Fought for the U.S. in Laos. Later, his documentaries connected Hmong communities worldwide.
Steve says his dad also made documentaries of his native Laos in the early 90s, years after he and thousands of other Hmong came to the United States as refugees.
The government was still closed off to most people. So it was really an amazing thing.
We now move to Best Radio Hard News Series reporting. Judges say it's powerful, with great writing, pacing, and use of sound. The Golden Mike goes to KCRW Santa Monica for Andrew Kettle, Homeless Death Number 566.
His name was Andrew Kettle. He was 51 years old.
It shattered me. It really shattered me. It really just, no one deserves that.
Homelessness in Los Angeles County isn't just on the rise, it's also becoming more deadly.
We now return to TV. Let's look at the winner of the Golden Mike for Best Television News Serious Feature Reporting 5 minutes or less in Division B. It's a unique program to give prison inmates job skills after they're released. Judges especially love the creativity in this story, including the reporters' stand-ups. Congratulations go to KRCA Los Angeles for Trabajo Bajo el Agua Presos en Chino.
Buenas noches.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Muy buenas noches. Me encuentro en el interior del tanque conocido como Big Blue, en el interior de la prisión de Chino, el centro correccional para hombres, en donde les enseñan a algunos presos que están a punto de terminar su condena a bucear y a trabajar bajo el agua para que cuando salgan tengan una mejor vida y se reintegren a la sociedad.
The Golden Mike winner for Best Television Serious Feature Reporting 5 minutes or less in Division A takes on a very tough subject. It looks at stereotypes and hate. Judges say the winner is thought-provoking and uses powerful images, writing, and editing to look at a very difficult topic. Congratulations to KABC Los Angeles for Facism, What's Wrong with Blackface?
For 150 years, blackface lived on as one of the most devastating and racist examples of stereotyping.
They depicted black people as being unable to speak clearly. They depicted black people as being really cowardly. They depicted black people as being uneducated. They depicted black people as being lazy.
We now move to Best Television Serious Feature Reporting longer than 5 minutes. The Division B Golden Mike goes to what judges say is a thoughtful piece which looks at what could happen to a community which may be losing its biggest industry. Congratulations to Jeff Platt and Octavio Flores with KBAK KBFX Bakersfield for Lumber Past, Oil Future.
Oil rigs surround Taft. The black gold they pump to the surface is a fitting symbol of what the natural resource means to this town.
It's our heartbeat. You're 100% correct.
Oil is so entwined in Taft's DNA, they have a museum dedicated to it.
Taft has always been an oil town.
Up next, it's Best Television Serious Feature Reporting longer than 5 minutes in Division A. Judges say it's an emotional, well-told story which looks at a painful event. The Golden Mike goes to KCET Los Angeles for Who Killed Josiah?
Humboldt County has a lot of unsolved murders. A lot.
It's very disturbing to me, the way the case was handled.
Now there are 2 African American students who are gone, and no answers, nothing.
The Golden Mike for Best Television Hard News Series Reporting in Division B goes to a hard-hitting story which looks at how some farm workers were exposed to pesticides. Judges say the story is both emotional and informative. The Golden Mike goes to Libertad Pedraza with KFTV Fresno for El Veneno del Valle.
Y empezó a llegar ese aroma de un pesticida fuerte. Y yo empecé a sentir una carraspera, dolor de cabeza, náuseas.
Los trabajadores del campo se ven permanentemente expuestos a pesticidas. Pero el 18 de junio del 2019, cerca de 60 campesinos enfrentaron una emergencia tóxica.
Pour another glass of wine because we're rolling right along and you don't have to drive home. Now we move to Best Television Hard News Series Reporting in Division A. In the wake of George Floyd's death, this story looks at life for 2 families in Southern California, one black and one white. Congratulations and a Golden Mike go to the team at Spectrum News 1 Los Angeles for Black and White, A Tale of 2 Families.
Ray and Stacy moved to Yorba Linda 17 years ago. They live in a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house, but just outside their door, not too many people look like them. They're the only black family in their neighborhood and one of a handful in their entire church.
It can be difficult sometimes.
A key element in a good radio news story is natural sound. Up next, we honor the best radio use of sound. Judges say the Division B winner uses lots of natural sound to help the story unfold. The Golden Mike goes to Lance Orozco with KCLU AM/FM Thousand Oaks, Santa Barbara for Fly Through the Air with, hopefully, the greatest of ease.
Some people driving on Highway 101 in Santa Barbara are seeing a jaw-dropping sight.
Up and out, wait there. Holy sweeps, have a nice.
Right off the highway, some 25 feet up in the air, there's a man swinging through the air on a huge trapeze.
Just relax, Jacob. You want to do a backflip?
Well, what can you say? When you got it, right? Judges can't say enough good things about our Division A winner for Best Radio Use of Sound. They call it creative, fun, and interesting. The Golden Mike goes to KCRW Santa Monica for Venerable Sunset Strip nightclubs receive landmark status.
We're taking you to Sunset Boulevard between Crescent Heights and Doheny. Yes, we're on the world-famous Sunset Strip, home to the Whiskey A Go-Go.
Well, what do you say we have some fun? Our next categories are for entertainment reporting. The Division B radio winner takes listeners along to an interesting COVID-19 inspired experiment. Judges call it a great use of natural sound, humor, and sound bites. The Golden Mike goes to Lance Orozco with KCLU AM/FM Thousand Oaks, Santa Barbara for COVID-19 Doesn't Stop the Laughs. Stand-up comedy meets drive-in movie theaters.
Laughs don't work for the comedians here. They can't hear them, but car horns take their place.
Oh my God! Are we really gonna do this? I love it! You can hear me! How about a smattering for Rob Schneider? A smattering of beeps.
We now move to Best Television Entertainment Reporting. Judges say the Division A winner is fascinating and insightful. They say this look into the life of a rising pop star is a beautiful, uplifting profile. Congratulations and a Golden Mike go to Spectrum News 1 Los Angeles for Music Diaries.
Born in East LA, from a rich blend of cultures, an artist emerges with a new voice.
I see you, but you don't see me now.
Taking in the world through 2 distinct lenses and reflecting it back in her own singular rhythm.
Up next, we are going to honor another one of our Lifetime Achievement Award winners. He's helped wake up Southern California with the news of the day for decades. It's Tony McEwing. To help us with the honors, it's longtime KTTV news director, Jose Rios.
Thanks, Jim. Let me tell you a story about Tony McEwing. We wanted to do a half-hour special on LA Trade Tech, a school near downtown where students went to learn a trade. Tony and I went to meet with the school, and as we were walking on campus, kids started coming up or shouting out, "Hey Tony, Tony! Hey morning news guy! Hey good day LA!" It happened all over campus. It was like walking with the Pope. Tony smiled and laughed and shared greetings and banter with everyone. And that was the moment that I discovered how truly popular Tony McEwing is. As an anchor, as a person, he is authentic and genuinely himself. He isn't just comfortable with people, he enjoys them and he cares about them. Now, he went to college at Northwestern University and has a master's degree in journalism from the Medill School and a Bachelor of Science degree in education. He also attended the law school. While in college, he drove a bus for the Chicago Transit Authority. There, he connected with the public more than ever in what he calls the best summer job I ever had, one that he says he both loved and survived. He began his career as a reporter at KXTV in Sacramento in 1981, and in 1990 there he moved to the anchor desk. In 1993, I hired him as the anchor at Fox 11, and he's been there ever since. He works hard at his craft, always taking time to polish his scripts, check facts, and get it right. I asked his colleagues at Fox 11 about him. "He's the smartest man in the room, but he's stealth about it," said a producer. "Always generous and humble." "He's the big brother I never had," said an anchor. "He has a big heart and is a great mentor," colleagues shared. "He's fun, he teases us, but he can take it too." Put succinctly, his Songs of Our Success producer said, "Everybody who worked with him should send him some of his pension money. He's that good." He is the consummate professional who is fun and family and, oh yes, factual. If something goes wrong, Tony doesn't get angry or complain. He simply says off camera, "Well, that could have been better." Being better is what Tony McEwing is all about. The conscious commitment to raising his work and himself to the highest levels. His co-anchor said, "He shines a light on me, and in so doing, he shines a light on himself." He has a commitment to excellence. His journalistic awards are many. 7 Emmys, a Golden Mike, a National Iris Award for his special on homelessness and the Midnight Mission. Since 2001, he has taught a class at the Mission, how to make a great first impression in a job interview to help homeless men trying to re-enter society. A labor of love for Tony has been Songs of Our Success, half-hour specials that celebrate Black achievement, culture, and contributions to American society. And Songs of Our Success was honored with 2 of his Emmys. He is active in the Metropolitan Church and has played the organ and piano with church choirs for over 3 decades. Finally, Tony is always grateful, especially to his mom and his grandmother, who raised him on the south side of Chicago and gave him the love and foundation that he carries with him to this day. Let's take a look at some of his work.
President Trump leaving tomorrow for Singapore and his summit with North Korea's Kim Jong-un.
Tony McEwing's just one of those guys who makes it look easy, and he always has.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tony McEwing. Coming up on News 10 tonight, Vice Presidential candidate Dan Quayle.
Tony had already been a fixture at KXTV in Sacramento for a dozen years before moving south to anchor the new Fox 11 Morning News in June of 1993.
What we do know at this point is that earthquake measured 6.5 on the Richter scale. Once again, 6.5 on the Richter scale.
From the moment he arrived, Tony was a calm, authoritative voice, giving LA viewers the information they needed to have exactly when they needed to have it.
He is a class act journalist. He knows the city inside and out. He's been out in the community, and he has been in the city forever.
Just to give you an indication of just how successful this program is so far.
Christina's right. And Tony's involvement with the community goes beyond the job.
It goes a long way, too.
He's been volunteering in the LA area for decades, pitching in whenever he can. But his biggest contribution is still what he brings to viewers every day, whether on the Fox 11 Morning News or in award-winning specials like Songs of Our Success.
Tony is the consummate pro.
It's fine. It's fine. The show goes on.
Smart, talented, and a great broadcaster. But for me, and for those of us here, the thing we always think of is the magical quality of that laugh.
22-year-old Juan Gutierrez was dressed in a clown suit as he led police in a chase onto freeways, off freeways, down streets, and alleys, laughing all the way. When police finally caught up with Gutierrez, he simply gave up. Police say he stole the car because he had finished performing at a children's party. And he didn't have a ride.
Get in your mouth and get out of here.
He didn't have a ride home.
In the roller coaster that is a career as a TV journalist, Tony has had a remarkably smooth ride. So much so that it seems he was destined for this life. You know, it's hard to imagine him doing anything else, except maybe, I don't know, Broadway star?
Let's go on with the show.
Here is RTNA Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Tony McEwing.
Well, first of all, I just want to thank the RTNA for this award. I am honored. I am humbled. I was a bit surprised, but I can't tell you how much this means to me. It really is so very special. And I also want to thank Jose Rios for introducing me, for that fantastic introduction. And actually, I want to thank Jose as well for being the catalyst in many ways for my career, because if Jose hadn't hired me, probably a lot of what's going on today would never have happened. My career may never have happened, certainly not here in Southern California. So I thank Jose for that. And honestly, he is the best boss that anyone could have worked for. Absolutely no question about it. An old wise man once said to me, if you have to give a speech, the last thing you want to do is to make your audience happy twice. Happy to see you get up and happy to see you sit down. So keeping that in mind, I'm going to keep this very short. A lot of people have asked me, whether or not, I had a lifelong passion for becoming a broadcast journalist. And the short answer to that is no. That actually was not my passion. When I was growing up on the south side of Chicago, which is where I was born and raised, actually, I thought I wanted to be a teacher because other than my mother and my grandmother, teachers had been the biggest influences in my life. They had had the greatest impact in my life. So when I went off to Northwestern University, just outside of Chicago, I was an English major. I thought I wanted to be a high school English teacher. Specifically, I was a secondary education major in English. And I thought that's the direction my life was going to go. But then I did my student teaching in my senior year, and I realized that really wasn't what I wanted to do in life. And so then I panicked, because then I had no idea what I was going to do in life. But a lot of my friends were going off to medical school, they were going off to law school, and I thought, law school, there's a thought. Maybe I should do that. So I applied to law school at Northwestern, and I got in, and I did that. And when I got to my third year of law school, I realized I didn't want to do that either. I panicked again because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life at that point. I knew this, though. I knew I loved to write. I knew that I loved to tell stories. And I knew that Northwestern had an incredible journalism school. So I decided, well, why not? I'll give that a shot. So I applied to the Graduate School of Journalism. I was accepted. And that's where I found my passion. Or actually, more accurately, that's where my passion found me. There I began my incredible journey in broadcast journalism. After graduating from Northwestern, I got my first job in Sacramento, California, and that was a fantastic 12 years of honing my skills and really learning what journalism was all about, getting my feet wet, and it was a wonderful experience. But it wasn't until I actually came down to Los Angeles that I got the real ride of my career and of my life. I came here in June of 1993, and first of all, I should say that I had no idea. I mean, there was never anything in my thoughts that made me think that I would ever work in a city like Los Angeles, in a market like Los Angeles. For me, Los Angeles was like the most exciting in many ways media market in the country, in the world even. So I never thought that I would ever have the opportunity to work here. So when I came here in 1993, I didn't know what to expect, but I did think that it probably was going to be quite an experience, and that has turned out to be the case. I came here in June of 1993. In January of 1994, the Northridge earthquake occurred. Shortly thereafter, we had the O.J. Simpson trial. There were fires and there were floods, and it was one history-making event after another. And I thought, wow, I have the privilege to actually have a front row seat to all of these history-making events that just kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. And I couldn't have asked for anything more than that in my career. But as much as I enjoyed covering all of those events, and I did, and I'm a big proponent of objective journalism, I really am. I think that we as journalists are supposed to objectively report the facts of a story. Stories that I believe, events and occurrences that actually shape the human condition, actually affect the human condition. And that's our job, is to cover these things and to make sense of them as best we can and cover them objectively. But I am also a huge supporter and advocate of what I like to call activism journalism. And what I mean by that is I think it's great and important for us to cover events that happened objectively. But I also think that we have a responsibility to make the world a better place. And when we can do the stories that actually impact the human condition in a positive way and make the world a better place, to me, I think that is the most satisfying and gratifying and fulfilling thing that I think I've ever had the opportunity to do in my career, and I hope to be able to do that more. Because I think that telling stories is great, but I think that we as journalists have a responsibility to not just cover the world that we live in, but to make the world a better place whenever and wherever that is possible. And that, for me, is what I love doing more than anything else, and I hope to continue to be able to do that. So, all of that being said, I want to again thank the RTNA for this award. I also want to thank Fox for allowing me the opportunity to practice my passion for nearly 30 years here in Southern California. And I really want to thank all of my colleagues, past, present, and future, because this is as much about them as it is about me. So as we like to say in this business, stay tuned. I hope there's a lot more to come. Thank you.
Congratulations once again, Tony. Good evening. I'm CJ Ward.
And I'm Beth Farnsworth. And on behalf of all of us here at News Channel 3, including my husband, CJ, we all want to extend our congratulations to all of tonight's winners.
And up next, we will honor the best in news specials, documentaries, and sports.
And again, we bring back the voice of the Golden Mikes, Jim Thornton.
Next up, we honor the best in sports reporting. The Division B winner looks at the loss of a sports icon. Judges say the coverage is comprehensive. Congratulations to Lance Orozco with KCLU AM/FM Thousand Oaks, Santa Barbara for A Legend Lost, Kobe Bryant helicopter crash.
My brain is like in shock right now. I just don't even believe that this just happened. It's insane. That's insane.
To me, he's everything. Always been. I've been following him since 1996 when he was drafted 17 years old. It was a big part of my life.
The Division A winner for Best Radio Sports Reporting looks at one of Southern California's leading sports figures who steps up to help people hurt by the pandemic. Judges say the writing is smart and concise. The Golden Mike goes to Tim Cates with KLAC Los Angeles for Justin Turner Steps Up to the Plate.
With all non-essential workers ordered to stay home and schools across the state shut down, Dodgers third baseman Justin Turner and his wife Courtney teamed up with the Dream Center in L.A. to help fill the large void left because of the shutdown.
Kids and families rely so heavy on the school program because it provided meals for their kids.
Solid reporting, shooting, and editing. Those are some of the judges' comments about the winner of the Golden Mike for Best Television Sports Reporting in Division B. It's a look at a unique effort to support COVID-19 first responders. The Golden Mike goes to Ryan Fish with KEYT Santa Barbara for Diving into the Fight Against COVID-19.
After 5 hours, the journey was complete. 10 miles and more than $10,000 raised.
There was thunder, there was lightning, it was raining. There was a pack of like 10 dolphins that got within 10 feet of us. I'm not going to lie, those last 3 miles was probably the hardest thing I've ever done.
The Division A Golden Mike for Best Television Sports Reporting looks at the up and down history of one of the region's oldest youth sports clubs. Judges say it's a well-written, well-produced project. The Golden Mike goes to Karen Fauché, Michael Ray, and Helke Franston with KCET Los Angeles for Born to Run.
He was fast, really fast.
He had to run to school from the gang member. He had to run home from school from the gang member. So that would make you pretty quick by itself.
The third grader was about to catapult the Jets into the international media spotlight.
Here at the Los Angeles Jets Track Club, Obi Moore is making history.
The Division A Golden Mike Award winner for Best Radio Sports segment looks at a painful day for Los Angeles. What was supposed to be a post-game show for a Clippers basketball game became a chance for the city to share its thoughts about the death of Kobe Bryant. Congratulations and a Golden Mike go to Adam Osland with KLAC Los Angeles for Kobe.
The game, the win, just feels very hollow and empty right now with the news we received earlier today where Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash at the age of 41. He was with his 13-year-old daughter, Gigi, and that has been the news.
We move to Best Television Sports segment. Judges say the Division A winner goes way beyond a simple sports report and cleverly uses humor to deal with a massive sports controversy. The Golden Mike goes to Fred Rogan and Angelo Simone with KNBC Los Angeles for NBC LA 11 p.m. Sports.
Honestly, what did we expect? The Astros' latest public relations meltdown came bright and early this morning. Members of the 2017 World Series team apologized for stealing signs. The entire thing was comically disastrous, starting at the top with owner Jim Crane.
You know, our opinion is, that this didn't impact the game. We had a good team. We won the World Series, and we'll leave it at that.
Did you say you feel like this didn't impact the game?
Great writing, superb use of sound, and amazing storytelling. That's what judges are saying about the winner of the Golden Mike for Best Radio News Special in Division A. The Golden Mike goes to Steve Gregory with KFI Los Angeles for Policing for Tomorrow.
Just a ton of gunfire just a few moments ago. We all had to dive down onto the pavement. I assume they were shooting it into the air, but there were like a group of 4 or 5 girls near my car, and we all just dived down to the pavement. Across the street from me right now, a storage shed, a storage facility, like one of those storage rental facilities, is on fire.
Our next Golden Mike Award winner is an ambitious project which looks at race relations in a community. Judges call it a well-done look at the issue. Our Division B Golden Mike for Best Television News Special goes to Jeff Platt and Tyra Majors with KBAK KBFX Bakersfield for Your Voice, Your Future, Police Reform and Race Relations.
We're out here trying to protest against police violence. We want to see change.
Our community members have every right to assemble.
Race relations.
It seems like nobody wants to listen, and the only way we're going to get them to listen is if we make noise.
The issues right here in our community.
I feel like we're in a time of revolution.
Let us come together and let us reconcile those differences.
Judges like the way our Division A winner for Best Television News Special looks at race through the eyes of families living in the same neighborhood. They say it was a creative way to tackle the issue. The Golden Mike goes to Diana Romo, Kaylee Milas, and Mackenzie Eckles with Spectrum News 1 Los Angeles for Walk With Me, Reflections on Race.
To feel the magnitude of a movement like this, you have to go behind the lines and the signs.
When I saw the whole thing with George Floyd, my first thought was that could be me, right? I'm a black man near his age, right? That could be me.
George Floyd's death popped open emotions bottled up for decades, even centuries.
We now turn to documentaries. Judges call the winner of the Golden Mike for Best Radio News Documentary in Division A captivating, well-produced, and a triumph in documentary reporting. Congratulations and a Golden Mike go to Chris Ancarlo, Corbin Carson, and Steve Gregory with KFI Los Angeles for KFI Civil Unrest Special.
I got to move here. I'm being pushed along by LAPD skirmish line. They're trying to clear off this bridge. So a number of protesters working their way into this parking garage. Not sure if they're just trying to figure out a way to get onto Fig because they were blocked by police down at the intersection of 7th and Fig, or if they're looking for something else.
Judges call our Division B winner for Best Television Documentary powerful and well executed. They say it's memorable. The Golden Mike goes to KOCE Huntington Beach for Hollywood Architect, the Paul R. Williams story.
Paul Williams was one of the most gifted architects of the 20th century.
His legacy of buildings is so strong and so compelling and so wide-ranging.
He had a teacher who very clearly told him, you cannot be an architect.
He was the first African-American architect to have a major crossover appeal to a white clientele, movie stars, movie moguls, affluent people of all kinds.
Up next, we have the Golden Mike for Best Television Documentary in Division A. Judges say it's an interesting, well-told look at what Southern California might look like in a decade. Congratulations to the news team at Spectrum News 1 Los Angeles for Vision 2030, Future of SoCal.
I think especially when we're thinking about the future of Los Angeles, there's utopian models, which are futuristic, like the Jetsons, of technology making our lives so much better. And then the other side is the dystopian views. And Los Angeles is sort of famous for those, like in Blade Runner, where everyone's always in danger. Maybe another way of looking at it in Los Angeles is that we haven't really controlled our destiny.
We now look at the best in investigative reporting. Judges call the Division B winner for Best Radio Investigative Reporting excellent work. Congratulations and a Golden Mike go to Carrie Klein with KVPR Fresno for Years Before COVID-19, Avenal State Prison grappled with a different deadly outbreak.
Paul Richardson was in prison in Fresno County in the 90s when he first heard about valley fever, a mysterious fungal disease that could be caught from inhaling spores in the soil. But the inmates had their own name for it.
And we called it instant AIDS, AIDS.
It hits people like a brick wall. In rare cases, it kills them.
We now move to Best Television Investigative Reporting. Judges say the winner of the Division B Golden Mike for Best Television Investigative Reporting is well-researched and well-told. The Golden Mike goes to Megan Healy with KSBY San Luis Obispo for Time for Timeless Treasures Home Consignments to Pay the Price.
This is a Christian Lassen painting, a limited edition. So we have the painting, the signature, and the number of the limited edition.
When this man brought in his high-dollar art to Timeless Treasures Home Consignments in San Luis Obispo, he expected to strike gold. Instead, the transaction left Milton Davis without a penny or a painting. Now it appears his options for collecting his nearly $300 in cash are drying up.
Judges call the Division A TV winner highly informative, well-documented, and well-told. It looks at the issue of beach access in California. The Golden Mike goes to the team at KCET Los Angeles for Access Denied.
It's sickening. It's a clear example of how rules get manipulated.
A little-known plan to protect the public's access to beaches is failing, and developers are winning.
It took 10 years to get this accessway open to the public.
If you have money, you can bulldoze your way through whatever you want at the expense of every other Californian.
Now, we present a 2021 Rtna Lifetime Achievement Award to one of Southern California's best-known television reporters, Patrick Healy. To present the award, it's KNBC reporter Beverly White.
Good evening, RTNA. I'm Beverly White, General Assignments reporter here at NBC4. Thank you for allowing me to say a few words about your honoree tonight, my friend, colleague, and role model, Patrick Healy. He's a standout journalist whose tenacity and storytelling skills are without equal in the bump and grind of local TV news. Now, Patrick is known for his body of work and many awards that precede this one tonight. He's also revered by his peers, his competitors, his sources, and even his subjects for his fairness and his attention to detail. So often, it goes without saying, he loses his voice. He gets so determined to chase down the stories and all the leads that my friend has been known to go hoarse. He's relentless and he's dedicated because he gives his very best. So tonight, we are proud to honor Patrick because I am proud to know him. He is one of the hardest working men in the TV news business. To paraphrase what they always say about James Brown, Patrick Healy is a hard-working individual. Please enjoy the video and learn more of the Patrick Healy story.
Patrick Healy has been a reporter for NBC4 since 1984 and is an iconic figure in the Southern California region for his breaking reports and in-depth stories on the station's weekly newscasts. Patrick is a dominant force in breaking news, and for nearly 4 decades, he's covered just about every big story in the Southland during his tenure at NBC4. But no matter the story, Patrick's journalistic consistency and integrity and his endless curiosity and fascination with the world has gained the respect and admiration from his colleagues and the community at large. A Los Angeles native, Patrick grew up attending schools in the Valley and graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering from UCLA. He credits his science background for helping him grasp the scientific and mathematical elements of many of the complex news stories he's been faced with over the years. While at UCLA, Patrick wrote for the Daily Bruin newspaper, continuing the family tradition since his mother was an editor and his father served as the newspaper's sports editor before him. He later also worked in radio and print media. But it was in the early 80s when Patrick's mentor, Jerry Witter, a big-name news guy from the 60s and 70s, hired him to produce KOCE. While working at KOCE, Jerry introduced Patrick to the late great Pete Noyes, who saw Patrick's potential and gave him his first break to work a 3-month summer program at NBC4. The rest is television history.
Patrick Healy, News 4, downtown Los Angeles.
During his 37 years at NBC4, Patrick has interviewed 2 U.S. presidents, has traveled internationally to cover world events, and reported gavel-to-gavel coverage on several of the most high-profile court cases in Los Angeles and their impact both local and nationwide. He covered the landmark Rodney King case and reported on the Brian Stowe beating case and trial of his attackers. He also reported on the trial of Dr. Conrad Murray, as well as the student molestation case involving former Miramonte teacher Mark Berndt. Patrick is also well known for his extensive reports about environmental issues in Southern California and regularly reports about the California drought. He won an LA Area Emmy for California Running Dry that chronicled the statewide impact of the severe weather conditions. And if his news schedule wasn't enough to keep Patrick busy, he also makes time to support many of NBC4's thousands of local charitable and community events every year. He received the Water Replenishment District's 2018 Distinguished Groundwater Partner Award for his commitment to supporting water and conservation causes in the community. In 2014, Patrick played a prominent role in NBC4's Community Relations Series Drought Town Hall events that took him into neighborhoods throughout the Southland. The Community Relations Series also earned NBC4 the prestigious Drought Warriors Award from environmental group Los Angeles Waterkeeper. Healy has also won many honors for his exceptional reporting, including being honored twice by the Los Angeles Press Club, an Emmy for the arrest of the infamous Night Stalker, several Golden Mikes, and an Associated Press Award for Best News Writing. An avid mountain biker and distance runner, Patrick has been married to his wife Deanne for 23 years, and together they have 2 daughters, Campbell and Claire. Patrick believes news is the first draft of history, and he continues to be one of the best frontline reporters ready to plunge deep into a story.
Boy, am I glad to hear that sound.
Something viewers have come to expect. And what NBC4 reveres most about him, his work ethic and compelling talent of storytelling. Congratulations, Patrick, on receiving RTNA's Lifetime Achievement Award.
And without further ado, it is my honor to introduce my friend, the man, the myth, the legend, Patrick Healy.
Beverly, thank you so much for the handoff, and Thank you as well for risking your impeccable reputation for accurate reporting by saying such nice things about me. Beverly, you know, we go back so far, 18 years together on Nightside. We even anchored the mornings for a while. I so much appreciate your friendship, and that makes it so wonderful this evening that so many of our NBC4 colleagues can be here with us tonight. Of course, each of us in our own Zoom cubicles, but no matter, this is fabulous. And I must say, being at NBC4 has been such a blessing with colleagues who are not only talented and hardworking, curious, iconoclastic, but also collaborative and generous. And that makes all the difference in the world. You don't have to wear Kevlar on your back in our shop. And then there's the spirit of teamwork and the high standards and the safety first ethos that come straight from our general manager, Steve Carlston, and news director, Renee Washington. Steve and Renee, thank you both so much. And of course, Rtna, sincere gratitude for this recognition. You know, I must admit I've been enthralled by the careers and lives of past recipients. In contrast, apart from the stories I've covered and the people I've had a chance to meet, my life's really been pretty boring. And you can ask my wife, Deanne. In fact, I asked her how much time should I allocate to recounting my career, and she says, oh, probably about 15 seconds will do it. But Deanne keeps me grounded. I appreciate that, and I'm so grateful as well for our wonderful daughters, Campbell and Claire. Professionally, I've benefited from some wonderful guidance and mentoring by some true giants in this business, none more so than the legend we lost barely a month ago, the irreplaceable Pete Noyes. Pete had such an influence on news, gathering, this entire shaping of this industry. Me personally, he gave me my shot at NBC4. Then he taught me what it meant to be a real reporter, somebody who makes a difference, not a lightweight, as Pete would say. Every piece of hardware I've collected, including this one, of course, I owe Pete a debt of gratitude. And I know I'm not alone tonight in saying, Pete Noyes, thank you for everything. If you'll indulge me a few more moments as a budding news geezer to share my hopes and aspirations for this business all of us love so much. And, you know, it's been pretty stressful. There's this long-term trend we've been facing, the competition for eyeballs and ad revenue. And then this past year, COVID has turned everything upside down, changed even the way we gather news. And then there's also been this former president who presented alternate facts and stoked hatred of, well, a lot of folks, not just journalists, but it's created dangerous situations. I was running into that before I got home duty, and I know those of you in the field are still facing that. It's serious. But at the same time, I think all of us agree that there is a problem with bogus propaganda being planted in social media and elsewhere by actors with a hidden agenda, actual fake news as opposed to that catch-all insult for facts you disagree with. But in light of the fact that so many people are quick to play that fake news card against us, I think it's really incumbent on all of us to renew our vigilance in upholding the standards and ethics of our profession, rigorous sourcing, being transparent in everything we do, not juicing up stories, sticking to facts that are important to the audience, to the people who watch our newscasts and listens to our broadcasts. That is our duty. And these are, of course, the standards that have been championed for so long by our organization, the Rtna. I learn from all of you so much every day, and it is so gratifying to know that you think at least some of my efforts are worthy of recognition. And so, from the bottom of my heart, I say to all of you, thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening.
Congratulations, Patrick, and congratulations to all of tonight's honorees. I'm Yarel Ramos with KMEX, Noticias Univisión 34, Edición Digital California.
And I'm Leon Krause with Noticias Univisión 34. We hope you've enjoyed the show so far, but don't go away. Some of the biggest categories are just around the corner. We'll salute the best in writing, reporting, and breaking news.
Plus, we'll present the RTNA's Freedom of Information Award to Dr. Anthony Fauci.
And we will have the winners of the Golden Mics for Best Newscasts. Let's get back to the awards with Jim Thornton.
Stay right here because we're moving into the home stretch. Our next categories are the backbone of broadcast journalism, writing. Judges call the winner for Best Radio Individual Writing in Division B descriptive and eloquent. Congratulations, and a Golden Mic go to Alice Daniel with KVPR Fresno for At Hmong Mini Mall, a place to share news even when it's the worst.
Coming to the mini mall gives Fang a sense of belonging, just like Lee's music. Songs about love, songs for broken hearts and enduring loss, songs that tell stories.
Here's what judges say about the Golden Mic Award winner in Division A for Best Radio Individual Writing. They call it well-written, with great imagery. The Golden Mic goes to Phil Farrar with Kogo San Diego for San Diego's frontline COVID-19 heroes.
First responders and those standard bearers, nurses, doctors, grocery clerks, and janitors. They are receiving a vibrant, exciting welcome home every night after battling an enemy they cannot see.
Judges say our Division B winner for Best Television Individual Writing is strong and filled with interesting facts and data. The Golden Mic goes to David Nazar with KLCS Los Angeles for Another California Great Flood.
For decades, the Golden State has been battling these natural disasters. Well, these days you can possibly add one more looming natural disaster. Many climate scientists who study extreme weather say California could expect a statewide flood of almost Noah's Ark biblical proportion.
Terrific writing, gutsy, and excellent pairing of words with video. Those are just some of the judges' compliments about the Division A winner for Best Television Individual Writing. Congratulations to the Spectrum One News team for their work on One SoCal, Surviving the Shutdown.
The signs were there to give us directions, but no place to go. These would become the signs of the times. Count the seconds it would take for a car to pass during rush hour. Newspaper stands stuck in time. Stadium seats sit empty.
Next up, we honor the best in reporting. Judges say the winner for Best Radio News Reporting in Division B brings the aftermath of wildfires to life. The Golden Mic goes to Lance Orozco with KCLU AM/FM Thousand Oaks, Santa Barbara for A Disaster Remembered. Woolsey Fire survivors struggle to rebuild.
The conversation is friendly and lively, but the occasion is not. The people are commemorating what was happening here a year ago. The Woolsey Fire swept through the tiny lakefront community, destroying about 30 of its 130 homes.
This has been one of the hardest years of my life.
Judges say the Division A winner for Best Radio News Reporting features stunning eyewitness accounts, good on-the-ground reporting, and amazing storytelling. The Golden Mic goes to Steve Gregory with KFI Los Angeles for LA City Firefighters Barely Escape Fireball.
Engine 9, go with your mayday. Explosion! I have 2 down firefighters!
This is actual radio chatter between firefighters that night.
On the front alpha side of the building, we need help.
Moving back to TV, judges say the winner of the Golden Mic for Best Television News Reporting is well-written and delivered. Congratulations to Megan Healy with KSBY San Luis Obispo for Distance Learning. Wi-Fi woes force Nipomo students to attend class in a car.
For the Martinez kids, it's back to school in the back seat.
It's hard because I get distraction and that stuff.
Learning multiplication while sitting in a car.
Not that much space and uncomfortable.
In the middle of a heat wave with the air conditioner cranked. Their at-home Wi-Fi isn't enough to support all 5 kids. So Mother Andrea takes 4 of them to parking lots with stronger connectivity.
Incredible storytelling and writing. That's what judges say about the Division A winner of the Golden Mic for Best Television News Reporting. One of the judges says the story made them cry. The Golden Mic goes to David Ono and Jeff McIntyre with KABC Los Angeles for Hiroshima 75 years later.
Very strong forces knocked me down. That's it.
When she came to, the world she knew was gone, replaced by indescribable horror.
Everywhere, people sitting or lie down, everybody had somehow heard. I was so shocked.
Now we honor best news reporting by a cable or broadcast network. Judges call our winner a beautifully done story with great writing, videography, and use of natural sound. Congratulations and a golden mic go to Joy Benedict and Robin Singer with CBS News for The California Condor, Rising from Extinction.
It is a moment decades in the making.
There he goes.
As young California condors get their first glimpse of the open sky from inside this flight pen at the Bitter Creek National Wildlife Refuge, 2 hours north of Los Angeles. It's their final stop before freedom.
Boy, the times are changing, aren't they? Seems like just yesterday we were getting rid of our rotary dial cell phones. Well, up next, it's some of our newest categories. Internet news reporting. Judges call the winner of the Golden Mic for Best Radio Internet News Reporting perfect, with excellent work from start to finish. Congratulations to Steve Gregory with KFI Los Angeles for Katarina's Club.
To actually be on the ground with your kids cold and just, oh my God, that was the hardest part of it all. I mean, like, even if I had to scrap to still try to keep a room or something, sleeping on the ground.
Judges call the winner for Best Television Internet News Reporting good journalism and an impressive body of work. They say an impressive amount of effort went into this creatively told project. The Golden Mic goes to KNSD San Diego for Stolen, a year-long investigation into child sex trafficking and exploitation.
Can you do me a favor?
What?
Can you bail me out? Because I don't want to be here.
Now we honor the best in podcasts. Judges call our winner a very listenable, well-produced look at California's ballot initiative process. The Golden Mic goes to Chris and Carlo with KFI Los Angeles for Proposition Podcast.
Just the other day it arrived in the mail, my official voter guide. I said, what the hell, let's take a look, see what it's all about.
How's it going? I'm Chris and Carlo. This is the third season of Proposition. It's a podcast about all the ballot questions in California designed to help you figure it all out.
Up next, we honor breaking news coverage. Judges say the Golden Mic Award winner for Best Radio Live Coverage of a News Story in Division B is descriptive with lots of good information. The Golden Mic goes to Lance Orozco with KCLU AM/FM Thousand Oaks, Santa Barbara for Ventura County wildfires force thousands of evacuations.
We started off with something that was like 50 or 100 acres, and just the first 15 or 20 minutes went to 750, and now they're saying 4,000, and of course they did that estimate maybe 20 or 25 minutes ago, so who knows what it's at now.
Judges say the winner for Best Radio Live Coverage of a News Story in Division A is comprehensive, with excellent use of sound. They say this station owned the story. The Golden Mic goes to the news team at KNX Los Angeles for Saugus High School shooting.
I spoke to a couple of young men who live down the road. They used to go to school here. They graduated. Their brother is a sophomore. He was on his way to school.
A student was shot twice and ran into her class, so her and her friends were trying to stop the bleeding of the other student.
The Division B winner for Best Television Live Coverage of a News Story looks at a fast-moving fire which threatened hundreds of homes. Judges say this news team provided solid on-scene coverage from the front lines of the blaze. The Golden Mic goes to KSBY San Luis Obispo for Avila Fire.
I am here with a resident who lives just a couple blocks away from where this fire broke out. Dan, thank you so much for joining us. Can you talk about where exactly you live in relation to where the flames are right now?
Yeah, this is Sea Ridge Court. I'm at the next street over, Beachcomber. So it's like a half a block away.
Where were you when you heard about this fire?
I was coming home from work. My wife texted me. She said there's a fire close to the house, and sure enough, when I came up the freeway, boom, it was right there.
Judges say the reporter in the Division A winner for Best Television Live Coverage of a News Story is amazing. They say she and her crew do an excellent job of staying on top of a rapidly changing story. The Golden Mic goes to Joy Benedict with KCBS Los Angeles for The Easy Fire, Horse Rescue.
If you take a look over here to this left-hand side, that's where we see a lot of stuff that's burning, and now inside that smoke we still have quite a few horses that are over there right now as they are running through that dark smoke, and they just got to get a hold of them. looks like they're coming to the road, you guys. The horses are running towards the road, if you see this.
Oh,
some of them have handlers, some of them don't.
Yeah,
so we got a lot of cars over here right now too, which could be a very tough situation.
Well, just people out there have said they can barely see, and those horses who are stuck between thick smoke and flames, you could tell they're disoriented.
Comprehensive coverage of a massive fire with lots of important information and interviews. That's what judges are saying about the winner of the Golden Mike for Best Radio Continuing Coverage in Division B. Congratulations to the team at KVPR Fresno for largest single blaze in California history, burns more than 379,000 acres and 856 structures.
How the blaze began Friday evening is still under investigation, but so far, the creek fire has covered ground from Shaver and Huntington Lakes to Mammoth Pools in eastern Fresno and Madera counties.
Tree mortality is playing a huge factor in the devastation.
Judges can't say enough about the winner of the Golden Mike for Best Radio Continuing Coverage in Division A. They call it powerful, impressive, and compelling. Congratulations to the KFI and KLAC Los Angeles news teams, as well as KTLA's helicopter reporters, for the crash and death of Kobe Bryant.
I'm Steve Gregory in the KFI News Center. This is breaking news coming from the KFI newsroom. We are being told that Lakers star Kobe Bryant has been killed in a helicopter crash.
Steve Gregory is live with the latest.
There are reports that among those killed include Bryant's 13-year-old daughter, Gigi.
Moving back to TV, judges say the Golden Mike winner for Best Television Continuing Coverage in Division B is well covered with lots of useful information. Congratulations to the news team at KFTV Fresno for Creek Fire.
Just keep going.
El incendio forestal Creek en la zona de Shaver Lake continúa avanzando y amenazando comunidades en las montañas de los condados de Fresno y Madera. Hay miles de familias evacuadas y zonas bajo aviso de evacuación. Esta madrugada, más de 200 personas que habían quedado atrapadas rodeadas de llamas en el estacionamiento de un lago.
Judges say the Golden Mike winner for Best Television Continuing Coverage in Division A is touching, raw, and on a scale of 1 to 10, an 11. They say from the reports and anchors to the producers, everyone came through to make this compelling coverage. The Golden Mike goes to the news team at KNBC Los Angeles for Kobe Bryant's death.
We are coming on the air to bring you this breaking news. Lakers legend Kobe Bryant has died in a helicopter crash in Calabasas.
It's insane. A lot of the people, in the community of Los Angeles look up to this guy because he came from nothing.
A family lost a father, and I said it earlier, a wife lost a husband, daughters lost a father, parents lost a son. We now know there were 9 people on the chopper, not 5. That means there will be more loss.
We now present the RTNA 2021 Freedom of Information Award. To present the award, here's RTNA board member Steve Gregory from KFI Los Angeles.
Thanks, Jim. Before I talk about the FOI award, I want to take a moment to congratulate everyone who's won a Golden Mike tonight and everyone who didn't win a Golden Mike. Because 2020 was a very challenging and trying time for everyone in journalism. And in Southern California, boy, did we have our share. Between wildfires, civil unrest, and the pandemic, we were all very busy. So I just want to congratulate everyone who made it through 2020. And just to tell you how proud I am to be a member of the LA Press Corps and to work alongside each and every one of you. So let's talk about the FOI Award. The Freedom of Information Award is not handed out every year, only when there's an individual or an organization that the board feels is worthy of such an honor. This year only one name came up, Dr. Anthony Fauci. And when the committee was considering it and deliberating whether or not he should actually get the award or at least present it to the board, some of the comments that came up were very interesting. One, he's relatable, he was very conversational, and he was calm. He had a very calm demeanor about him. The other thing that came up is the fact that he made himself available to TV and radio stations throughout Southern California, regardless of the size of the station, the ratings, the reach, it didn't matter. He went on any and every station his schedule would allow for. And also, in the middle of the pandemic last year, there was actually a point where we thought Dr. Fauci would get fired. He probably thought he was going to get fired. But the committee noted that he pushed back against leadership last year to keep the public informed. And that is the spirit of the FOI Award. Dr. Fauci took over the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases in 1984, and he's no stranger to epidemics and pandemics. In fact, he was on the front lines of the AIDS epidemic. He was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2008 by then President Bush. And he's got just a huge list of accolades from organizations all over the world for his work to combat disease. And tonight, we're proud and happy to tell you that he is the recipient of the 2021 Freedom of Information Award. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Thank you, Steve, for that very kind introduction. I am grateful and deeply honored to accept the Radio and Television News Association of Southern California 2021 Freedom of Information Award, which I understand is one of the oldest broadcast news awards in the United States. It is especially meaningful to me because I highly value the precept it champions, which is one we hold in common: protecting the public's right to know. When your organization established this award in 1950, the radio and TV landscape was rudimentary compared with the multi-platform, hyper-connected broadcast options of today. In the 7 decades since, however, protecting the public's right to know has become no less important. Which brings us to today. For the past year, in our different but intertwined professional roles, we have contended with a public health crisis caused by the global pandemic of COVID-19, as well as the profound ways it has upended our society, our work, and our personal lives. During the past year, we saw how the clarity and consistency of the information we impart to the public and the importance of that information being science and evidence-based are absolutely critical to bring this pandemic under control. In that regard, let me mention some of the principles that inform how I communicate to the public during a public health crisis. First and foremost, know your audience. When I speak to a public audience watching TV or listening to the radio, it is different from conversing with my scientific colleagues, and I calibrate both my language and the complexity of my message to take this into account. I try to avoid either talking down to or over their heads, but rather strike a balance and convey a clear, crisp message that almost everyone will get something out of, some more than others. Which brings me to the second principle. My purpose in communicating to the public is not to show how smart I am. It is to have people understand what I am talking about. How often I have heard people say, "That person sounded brilliant, but I did not understand anything he or she said," which relates to the third principle, which I learned from my Jesuit mentors in high school and in college. When communicating, follow these tenets: precision of thought and economy of expression. Know precisely what your message is and be brief in your presentation. Once you get that down, you can exercise and maintain your integrity by articulating messages that are both thoughtful and consistent. As I noted previously, effectively communicating with the public as we navigate the COVID-19 pandemic requires that we follow the evolving science. Thus, we must be prepared for science and the data resulting from science to lead to inconvenient truths. It is crucial for protecting the public's right to know and for maintaining one's own integrity that the public hear the truth as it is rather than as they or we may want it to be. Sometimes this means admitting we do not have all the answers and saying, "I just do not know." Finally, it is important to stick with what you know to be the facts and never be intimidated or pressured into agreeing with something that you do not know or believe to be true. By imparting unbiased information, you build trust and credibility with the public, and again, you preserve your integrity. So thank you for the outstanding work you do every day, sometimes at risk to your own health, to keep your people informed, to help us convey important public health messages, and to tell the compelling human stories of lives affected and lost by this pandemic. Know that we will defeat this unprecedented pandemic, and right now is a critical time in this effort. We need people to hang in there a little longer and follow safe public health measures as we continue to vaccinate as many people as quickly as we can, so we can build a blanket of protection from individuals to communities to the entire country. Thank you again for this distinguished award, and please stay well as you continue your good work.
Now the big moment is here. It's time for our final awards of the night, the Best Newscast Awards. We start with radio. Here are the nominees for Best Radio Newscast under 15 Minutes Division B. They are KCDZ 29 Palms for Z107.7 local news for Tuesday, September 22nd, 2020. KCLU AM/FM Thousand Oaks, Santa Barbara for KCLU 7 AM News with Willa Sandmeyer. And KMJ Fresno for KMJ's Morning News. Judges say the winner is energetic, well-written, with lots of interesting interviews. Congratulations to KMJ Fresno.
Fresno's Morning News, live and local. Good morning, Matt Otstad.
Good morning, Tony. Some Fresno residents now calling for the dismissal of the city's independent police auditor after he admits to holding back the results of a report investigating excessive police force.
John Glotta is the city's independent police auditor, looking into accusations of excessive police violence during the arrest in January of 2019.
Next, it's Best Radio Newscast under 15 Minutes Division A. Judges say there's a clear-cut winner here. They say it's tightly placed, well executed, with no fluff. Congratulations, and a golden mic go to KFI Los Angeles for the 5 o'clock news on KFI.
Slowly but surely, I'm Deborah Mark live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. The fire in the Angeles National Forest has burned nearly 110,000 acres.
Firefighters are surrounding more of the fire.
Tame has grown overnight.
Now we move to Best Radio Newscast over 15 Minutes Division A. Once again, we have an outright winner. Judges say it's comprehensive, well-written, with authoritative yet personable anchors. Congratulations to KNX Los Angeles for the KNX Afternoon News with Mike Simpson and Karen Adams.
This is Southern California's only 24-hour local news and traffic station, KNX 1070 News Radio. I'm Mike Simpson.
And I'm Karen Adams. Our top local story at 4:30. For the first time since the Bobcat fire broke out, fire crews are finally seeing some favorable conditions.
Now, here are the nominees for Best Daytime Television Newscast in Division B. The nominees are KBAK Bakersfield for Eyewitness News at Noon and KBFX Bakersfield for Eyewitness News Mornings. Judges say the winner features lots of local news and solid weather presentation. The golden mic goes to KBFX Bakersfield.
Live in high definition from Fox 58 in Bakersfield, this is Eyewitness News Mornings.
Well, good morning, everyone, and happy Tuesday. Welcome into Eyewitness News Mornings here on Fox 58. I'm Sarah Shahayev.
And I'm Aaron Perlman. Great to see you. Welcome back, by the way, Sarah.
Thank you. Feels good to be back, especially with these cooler temperatures.
Now, here are the nominees for Best Daytime Television Newscast in Division A. They are KTTV Los Angeles for Good Day LA, KABC Los Angeles for ABC Eyewitness News at 6 a.m., and KNBC Los Angeles for NBC4 News at 11 a.m. Judges say the winner begins with breaking news and is packed with good content, great flow, and solid anchoring. Congratulations to KABC!
Breaking news at 6 o'clock. Containment on the Bobcat fire has gone down as one of the largest fires in LA County history continues to burn. We're live with the very latest on the firefight.
Also, there is a tribute today for this firefighter who died battling the El Dorado fire, and what more we've learned about this local hero.
And if you can believe it, today is the first day of fall as we look at live at Running Springs. Will our temperatures reflect that? The forecast next.
Live from ABC 7, this is Eyewitness News.
Good morning, everybody. 6 a.m. Thanks for joining us live on TV.
Now to the nominees for Best Television Newscast 30 minutes or less in Division B. We have an outright winner. Judges say it's solid, well-anchored newscasts with emotional and enterprising storytelling. Congratulations to KFTV Fresno for Noticias Univisión 21 a las 11 p.m.
Bomberos siguen ganando terreno en su lucha contra el incendio Creek. Ya reportan un 32% de contención, sin embargo, ha quemado casi 290,000 acres de bosque, destruido 855 estructuras y dañó a 77, la mayoría de estas casas.
Now to the nominees for Best Television Newscast 30 Minutes or Less in Division A. There are 3 nominees. KNBC Los Angeles for NBC4 News at 11 p.m. KABC Los Angeles for ABC7 Eyewitness News at 6 p.m. And KVEA Los Angeles for Noticiero Telemundo a las 6 p.m. Judges call the winner informative, engaging, well-produced, and nicely presented. The Golden Mike goes to KNBC.
Here's justice for my nephew. He didn't have to be killed like that.
Tonight, new details about the death of Dejan Kazee as the family reveals the results of an independent investigation into the deputy's shooting. But first, coronavirus reopenings. California clears the way to reopen nail salons as more counties get the green light to relax some restrictions. Good evening. I'm Chuck Henry.
And I'm Carolyn Johnson.
Up next, it's Best Television Newscast 60 Minutes or Less in Division B. The nominees are KBAK Bakersfield for Eyewitness News at 5 p.m. and KBFX Bakersfield for Eyewitness News at 10 p.m. Judges call the winner solid and well-produced. The Golden Mike goes to KBAK.
Live in high definition from KBAK TV in Bakersfield. This is Eyewitness News at 5.
Tonight, the United States surpasses 200,000 COVID-19 deaths. This is states continue to slow the spread while battling with reopening their economies. Thanks for joining us this evening. I'm Rochelle Murcia.
And I'm Dave Gonzalez.
Now to the last award of the night, Best Television Newscast 60 Minutes or Less in Division A. There are 3 nominees. KABC Los Angeles for ABC7 Eyewitness News at 5 p.m. Spectrum News 1 Los Angeles for Your Evening on Spectrum News 1. And KFMB San Diego for News 8 at 10 p.m. on the CW San Diego. Judges say the winner covered all the major Southern California stories of the day with great storytelling, production, and presentation. The final Golden Mike of the night goes to KABC.
This is Eyewitness News, now at 5.
Right now on Eyewitness News at 5, late this afternoon, the family of Dejan Kizzy speaking out about the Sheriff's Department report about what happened in the moments before Kizzy was shot and killed by sheriff's deputies.
Firefighters making progress on the stubborn Bobcat fire. We're live with the latest.
Nail salons finally allowed to reopen, but why some counties may still hold off on allowing the businesses to open their doors. Hello, I'm Mark Brown. This is Eyewitness News at 5.
I'm Giovanna Lara.
And with that, the 71st Annual Golden Mike Awards are in the history books. Thank you so much to the Rtna, and congratulations to all of our winners and our nominees as well. We'll hold the 72nd Annual Golden Mike Awards next year live in person at the Universal Hilton, and we'll see you then. Until then, good night, everybody.